GYMDAD Fitness. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be doing a little compare and contrast Crack OG versus Crack Purple. Dark Labs is one of these ones that there's plenty of reviews out there for, so I'm trying to think of ways to be outside the box and be a little bit different. And before I kick it off and do my label breakdowns, effects, things like that, I'm gonna give Zach the honor. Zach's a returning member of the channel as a guest reviewer and become one of my good confidants when it comes to pre-workout experiences and reaching out to see like what he thinks of certain stuff. And Crack OG is one that I give him all the credit in the world for me finally getting my hands on. I was very spooked out by this one with how hard hitting it was, but Zach assured me I think you're gonna like this one. I honestly, he mentioned that it's one of the closer to Mino experiences he's had to the purple, and that he's almost had neck and neck productivity, looking at just straight raw like productivity with his workout. Like it's you're picking hairs here between the two. I mean, obviously you got your signature 2-1-3, but we'll get into the effects. But anyway, just want to give a shout out to Zach for actually getting me to finally pull the trigger on this Crack OG and not being too scared of it. And we'll get into what my thoughts on it. But a little spoiler alert: I've really enjoyed this one, and we'll kick it over to Zach first to give his breakdown.
Hey everybody, shout out to GYMDAD real quick for letting me get in on this review, because I know this is going to be a hot take, this one. So comparing Crack OG to Crack Purple. Okay, so there's a lot of different word out there about Crack OG. You got people that like it, people that don't like it. But this is just going to be my opinion on it and how it compares to the OG Crack Purple, because I just happen to have both of them. And I ran them, Monday I ran Crack OG 24 grams. So I rounded the scoops a little. Wednesday I did 20 grams of OG Crack Purple, a little over. So I want to just give my opinion on both anyway. So I'm going to start out with similarities, because in my opinion, there's a lot of similarities between these two. Similarities. Sense of urgency, full, warm, full body buzz, and just the mood elevation and locked in tunnel vision is ridiculous with both of these. Within the 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, I'm in the zone, in the bubble, ready to go, and just attacking the weights. The pumps are crazy on both. Mind muscle connection's crazy. Just endurance is through the roof. No patience, right? No patience between sets. Can't wait for the next set to start. Let's get this rolling. There's no negatives to either one, in my opinion. The little difference is Crack OG, I think, is a little more of a bubble, more of a leave me. I'll talk to you, but not long. Just leave me alone. Let me get into this and get going and just focus on the lifting. That's it. I mean, and then Crack Purple, yeah, a little more. I think a little more euphoria. A little, not much. And you would be more sociable on the purple. The taste is similar both too. The similar way both too. They're not terrible, but you could taste the exotics in them. You're taking something. Not really any difference. Even the come down is the same on both. So for me it's a little different because I work out real early in the morning. I'm awake at anywhere between 3 and 4 a.m. depending if it's a work day or not, and I'm waking myself out of the dead, and I'm up until 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. That's when I get to lay down. You got 2 little kids, it's hard, but we got to get it done. So I'm exhausted by the end of the day. I think I'd be exhausted even without taking any pre's, but with this, you're super exhausted by the end of the day, but that might be good. That's good for some people. If you're taking it later in the day and you're coming down and it's around your bedtime, and you're worried about sleep, you're gonna sleep pretty good with this stuff. Um, so anyway, that's pretty much what I got for comparing them both. Now, if you want to have fun, if you have both, now, uh, if you want to have a lot of fun, today what I did is I mixed the two of them. Did a heap and scoop of OG and a heap and scoop of purple, mixed them together. That experience today, I mean, coming up was the same way, right? Super quick head buzz, super quick, um, locked in tunnel vision. The euphoria was out of this world, like insane. I will also say the betas were nuts. I did forget to mention that the other difference between the OG and the crack purple for me was the beta tingles are way more apparent and just there, almost like a niacin for me with the purple. But you mix them together, and it's the same thing. It's like whew, almost eat your face off type of burn. But it's not. I mean, not like angel dust. That's for sure. That one's a different. That's a whole different story. But yeah, I mean, locked in tunnel vision. The weights felt like butter today. It was just awesome. I could have went forever. I still want to work out now, but it's not worth it. But yeah, I mean, I know I gotta watch my back because GGH is here somewhere ready to spank me for saying mixing them, but I don't care. If you want to have a good ride, mix these two together if you got them both. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this is going to be a hot take, and it is what it is. I mean, one last thing I want to say quick is if you did have a bad experience on the OG, I just got one question. Did you have any food in your system? That makes a difference. I remember when I first took crack purple, I did it on an empty stomach like years ago, and it wrecked me. It wrecked me. So, you know, what I usually take these real quick, and then I have a real quick carb meal. So it's something in my stomach, and it makes a big difference. Anyway, thanks, guys. See you later.
GYMDAD Fitness. Today we have a Dark Labs review for you. And I've been wanting to hit this one right here. This is the original crack purple. This is one of the last batches that claimed 1-3. Lot number, no, there's a special lot. This is not the one with, I think the one with the 1-3 in the front's the special one, but this is a 726 EXP 046401 batch number, just for a reference. And I've been wanting to review this, but so what the hell's the point of reviewing a product that people can't get anymore? I mean, how's a way I can kind of like provide some value to the review industry, supplement industry here through my review? And thought, what better way to do it than running this thing with a pre I haven't ran yet, and I've been excited to get my hands on and give a run. And this is the Crack OG, and famous for being too strong. I feel like I've seen all over Reddit. A lot of other reviewers said this was too hard hitting. Got a pretty bad rap. People on Reddit calling it like, over the top, almost making some people nauseous. One of the most like hard hitting pre's you can find. And to be honest, I was a little spooked of ever running it, so that's why I kind of passed on it. And so I thought, what better way to do it? I did a crack Barbarian versus crack Gold review a while back. And besides that, that's my only Dark Labs products. And it's not that I don't like Dark Labs. Trust me, I'm one of the biggest Dark Labs fans there is. I mean, you can see from the board behind here, we got cracks all over here. Sometimes in the video, when you only can see that when the light's reflecting on that. And so obviously the only reason I don't really run too many Dark Labs products for review is because there's so many out there, and all the reviewers hit them as soon as they come out. The ones that have been around for a while obviously have connections with Dark Labs, so they're hitting these products before like a lot of them are even hitting the market. And so to me, it's like, first off, I don't want people's leftovers in the review game, and second off, it's not really providing the industry much value if I'm just reviewing products that people have already hit. Everybody and their brother and their sister have already hit reviews on it for. But at the same time, it's fun. These are fun products, so like I don't mind doing them. It's just there's not as much urgency to do a Dark Labs review. But this is a fun one. I'll probably do a lot of these comparison ones for Dark Labs products that have been around for a while. But I've ran Crack Purple twice now in the last 14 days, and then Crack OG twice in the last 14 days. And I'll get into the label breakdown really quick on both of them. It's kind of when I kind of lay the groundwork for how I ran these things. This first week ran this one on shoulders, this one on chest, 3 days apart, and then the next week this one on chest, and this one on chest, and then this one on shoulders. So same days of the week, but flip flop the products and flip flop the workouts, because sometimes a workout can have an impact on your pre workout experience. And overall, both experiences were amazing. But before we jump into the differences, how they relate, and all that effects that people come here for, first want to go to the label. And we're going to start with Crack OG, and then I'll just give you some highlights on some differences. And obviously, they weren't trying to create a replica product here. This is just two that I personally, once I ran OG, thought that it reminded me. It was almost as hard hitting as the purple. And first off, citrulline. This is a 2 scoop of grammage. We got citrulline at 8 grams. Then we have beta alanine 3.2, agmatine at a full gram, arginine at a full gram. So a lot of good pump products here. This is pretty very loaded stack pump product as well. So no need to stack anything with this one. Caffeine anhydrous 400. Ariadrenesis 400. That's quite a bit. I don't know if we've ever seen it. It's been a while since I've seen it up that high. I haven't ran anything recently that has that at that much of a level. And then 2 amino at 300. That's the same amount of 2 amino that Maniaco had, and I assume it's the same source, with it being a Dark Labs product. And then Norvaline 250, caffeine citrate, fast acting caffeine at 150, decaffeine malate, the slow hitting caffeine at 100. So 3 types of caffeine coming in at 650 grams total. So that's going to yield like 550 or something, like 500 and something, upper 500s is the total yield. And then isophephurines HCl 30 milligrams, Nupept. This is that bubble like title. This is that the kind of Nupept creates that like bubble like feel in pre workouts. A huge fan of this ingredient. Love it. It used to be all over the place a couple of years back when these 2 amino 1,3 pre's were running wild. And then alpha yohimbine at 1.5. And like we've talked about in many other reviews, it depends on the sourcing, because sometimes this thing slaps like a motherfucker, and sometimes you can take like the mass cast app, you can take almost up to damn near 4 or 5 grams, and you still hardly feel any of the negatives. And then Crack Purple, the key differences here, the citrulline comes in the same. They have the agmatine, sulfate, the arginine, both at similar levels. They do have a beetroot powder, which I'm a huge beetroot powder fan, the vascularity. They have the Norvaline, they have the caffeine, but the caffeine's at a lower level. Caffeine only hits 400 on this one. This one does have grains of paradise, and you could definitely feel that. I'll get into the effects of that part. And then obviously the 1,3 claims at 120 milligrams, but there's no 2-amino in this one, just the 1,3. And so overall effects. So the Crack OG, first off, I'll probably spend the most time on this one, just because it's one that you can still get. I had a freaking awesome experience both times. The first time I took this thing, sense of urgency was really freaking high, but it wasn't too much. I felt like I was never nauseous, sick after the workout. So I don't know. I think a lot of it to do with some of these nauseous, sick stories is either you're training like or sometimes preset differently on the stomach early in the morning, or you're not having enough carbohydrates before the workout, and poor nutrition coming into the workout is my thought on this. And because I had a great experience, I had no nauseousness whatsoever. It smacked like a motherfucker, but it was a good smack, like a wake you up from the dead, get you going, power output, just savage workout, sweaty as can be. It kind of came in within 15 to 20 minutes, the alpha yo, the caffeine center of urgency, the caffeine citrate, the fast acting. And then once you got that 20-minute mark of sense of urgency, it kind of starts hitting that euphoric element at the 30 to 40-minute mark, and it's on the borderline of like aggression slash dancing vibe. Like to me, this was in the Coco Lab or the Coco Labs Doomsday UK kind of category. Like it was definitely a happy pre-workout. There's gonna be times when you did feel like dancing. To be honest, like it wasn't just straight aggression and like smack and hard hitting um, experience like I thought it was going to be based upon reading everyone else's thoughts on this one. Like I felt pretty freaking optimistic, pretty positive. It was good dancing vibes, but it wasn't like I wouldn't call it happiness pre. There's still so much aggression, so much attitude. This is one of those ones that you need to be a high level stem junkie user, but you definitely will be okay. Like I took it both times. The serving size is 20.6. I took it once at 20. 0.6 liters on the dot because I have a grammage scale that goes to the 0.61 gram. And then the second time I took it was like 22. So around the just the standard grammage both times. Never messed with one scoop on this one, nothing like that. But awesome experience. Off the boards, extremely well balanced. Put my bar chart up on the screen, and we got. Um, I wouldn't give it a max of anything. Like the red bar is what I call the max score, but I would just give this thing straight green bars right down the side. I filmed the flavor weigh in and taste test, but just due to time length, I'm going to cut that. And taste was really good. It was very very purpley. The color of the mix, and my flavor was. I know that sometimes people say the flavors do affect it. It was like a wild berry, a very dark berry was my flavor on the crack reloaded or crack OG experience. And then after talking with um, um, Zach, sorry man, so I appreciate it. You patient, appreciate you jumping on the review here, Zach. Talking with Zach, we thought like it's really not far off the mark of the crack purple, and it kind of made us wonder what that experience was like again. So we decided to go back and run this one, and they're definitely different. They're different, is what I've my thoughts. I haven't even watched his review yet. I wanted to keep this at least impacted by his review at all. So maybe he thinks they're very similar. I have no clue. But to me, the crack purple experience was unreplicable. It is insane bubble like feel, just in the zone. Like you almost feel like you're training in your own world. I remember when I hit crack purple, I had two people come up to me at the gym, like just friends, acquaintances, not like good friends or anything like that. Just I don't even know their names. It's like, how you going? How's it going, bro? Stuff like that. But mentioned how freaking sweaty and how insane I was training. Like just like you're gonna make people question your mental insanity, how much this is going to make you feel in the zone, tunnel vision. And then the sweat was unreal, which also I feel like you always look more pumped up and vascular when you get sweaty. Like I remember I was hitting some chest flies and I could see like the beads of sweat just like hanging out on my shoulders and the veins coming out of the arms and stuff. And it was a fun experience. Obviously, I still go with the crack purple, but crack OG when it comes to two amino alpha yo combo pre's, it's not far off the mark. Plus, with this new pept in it, it kind of still keeps like new pept was not in the purple, and new pept kind of provides that like bubble like feel. So I think that's where me and Zach kind of got started thinking like this isn't far off crack purple, just because it was so happy, it was so like tunnel vision focus that we're like, okay, this kind of almost feels like a 1-3 pre-workout with the combination of two amino alpha yo new pept all coming together to create that little nostalgic feel of the crack purple. But it's one of these things. Sometimes when we don't run things in a while, we kind of have a tendency to forget. We either build them up to be too damn good, or we don't remember them being like as good enough. I think this is a case where I ran crack OG and I was like, oh man, this is so freaking awesome. I'm so blown away by crack OG experience. Like it can't be far off the purple. And then I was reminded when I took the purple the next day, and then the very next day, that or the next week, that the bubble feel in this cannot be replicated, even with the new pep alpha yo caffeine combinations they all have going on there. And as far as the overall happiness meter, I'd probably even still give crack purple the edge. Crack OG definitely had you feeling really good, had you ready to pump the iron, but it was more power output, more aggression within that one. But I never felt like it was over too much. Like even the caffeine level, the fact that they broke it down in different phases of caffeine, different half lives of when they kick in and when they fade away. It tapered. It came in nicely, then tapered off nicely. So I like the fact they use multiple phases of caffeine, because sometimes that's nice when we don't have a lot of these stimulants in the party coming in until a little bit later. So that citrate and alpha yo makes it a real sense of urgency, and then the euphoria of the two amino, and then the caffeine malate, and then regular caffeine kind of take over and provide you that euphoric effect and still sustain smack and energy to keep you going. So this is one of these ones you train for an hour and 15 minutes. You're going to hit some abs afterward. You're going to want to do some cardio maybe. But this one, on the other hand, I still give the upper hand to. It wins. It's green bars all the way down, or red max bars all the way down. Even with the no alpha yo, and the caffeine only, not lower caffeine, but caffeine only at 400. The sense of urgency and energy are as max as you can possibly be. There's something about this 1.3, the old 1.3 experience, that like it kind of provides this, like, you'd almost think that alpha yoimbene's in it, the way like it comes in, the tunnel vision focus, this wave of energy that just like takes you over when it starts brewing. It feels like, okay, there maybe, is there alpha yo in this thing? Like it just kind of like has that feel, that sense of urgency, just like it feels like nothing else can replicate it. I mean, obviously, like if you watch my IR8 review, it kind of had a similar come in vibe of that. The way, like, there's a difference between the way alpha yo comes in and provides a sense of urgency, and just a real good, 1.3 like feel comes in and provides that sense of urgency. So even with the lower caffeine and no alpha yo, this one still gets the check of the full score on that one. And obviously, like, overall of pre-workouts I've had in my life, like, you got 2020 Excelsior, which is in a different world, and then I got legit V1, which actually is a little smoother than this, and then to me crack purple, and then crack gold. The first version is the most like crack gold. The first version is the most like hard hitting slap, perfect euphoria amount. This one's probably one of the most well balanced ones, along with legit V1. This one feels a little bit more dirtier than legit V1, just for fun. I know none of these things are available, but just overall my perspective on this pre versus some of the other legends. But Crack OG, it's, two thumbs up for me, man. This was a fun experience. I feel like this one's gotten a bad rap for being too heavy hitting, too hardcore. I think that there's been a few people that have reviewed it that either, the nutrition wasn't on point when they came in with it, or maybe like they just got a little spooked out when they're running it, and sometimes you start overthinking it, and you kind of can let anxiety take over. And I honestly think that could have happened to me if I didn't talk to Zach before this. Like, he took this thing, he's took it at more than the grammage total before, I believe, or maybe he took a sample. But anyway, he said he's the one that told me, like, dude, you gotta get this Crack OG, because I think you're really gonna like it. And he's never really led me astray, and so I finally pulled the trigger on it. And so I appreciate Zach for reaching back out. I was never going to run this. I was going to pass on it. Never hit it on a review, but you assured me that it's going to be all right. And sometimes that's all we need from someone. It's like, hey, this is it right here. And like, this is one of these ones that, once you reach the peak, it's going to just fringe on being too much. But just remember, it's going to come down, and you're going to be okay. And this one tapered off nicely. A lot of appetite suppression post workout, but nothing crazy. Actually, the first time I ran it at a family gathering afterward with lots of people, lots of food, and man, I was talkative as hell, just enjoying my time, snacking a little bit here and there, but not like really hungry. I remember I didn't really eat that much at the thing until about an hour later. Then I slammed some barbecue. But overall, it tapered off really nice. Still gave you a couple hours of energy afterward, but nothing out of this world insane where you couldn't sleep like 10 hours later or anything like that. It was nice, solid, maybe 6 hours of energy, something like that. So good one to take if you're training early in the morning too, want the energy to carry you throughout the day. But like, subscribe. We have one other Dark Labs product I need to review, still the Hero Lean. I think it's V3, the one. But so there will be one more Dark Labs product to come. But I hope you guys like these comparison content videos, and definitely have some more in the future for you.